We get started. This question is
Coach, the team only scored 30 points in the second half. Why were there so many offensive struggles in the second half?
I haven't seen the stats yet, so I think we just got really disjointed. Minnesota amped up their pressure, and we were a little bit disjointed and kind of got away from playing the way we want to play. And that synergy out there kind of went away, and we got some tough calls. And maybe they were fouls, but they just didn't go our way. And so they're just like momentum just kind of shifted, and we just couldn't come up with like the collective chemistry to get going on offense. So we missed a lot of good shots too, though, right? So it's not always how many points did we score, but how many good shots did we take? And I thought we took some good ones in the second half that we just missed. But I don't think, sometimes when your offense is struggling, you can't just you got to give the other team some credit too. But they really defensively dialed it up, super physical. And that's kind of what happened.
Lauren.
Hi, Coach, right here. Did you see what happened on the play with Ricky Johnson, and also are there any updates you can provide?
Yeah, I saw it live. I haven't seen it back, but it was like a long rebound, loose ball, and a collision. And so she's being evaluated right now. We don't know anything else beyond that, so that's all I can tell you.
Cameron.
Hi, Coach. You talked a little bit before the game about kind of the lower number of guards you guys have available right now. And Sarah Ashley played extended minutes tonight. Can you talk about what you liked from her and kind of what her focus will be going into the next couple of games with more minutes on the table for her?
Yeah, I mean, we're a little bit thin in the guard line. But SA did a good job. I mean, she's just fearless, and she also does what is required for running a play. She does her job. She crashes the boards. She plays hard defensively. I thought she did a really good job in ball screens defense. She was guarding Heidemann on that. She is quick. And I thought, she got beat a couple times, but for the most part, she did a good job. So it's just for her, just gaining confidence, continuing to grow, experience the speed and the physicality of the W. Month and a half ago, she was playing in college. And so I think, that's a tough transition, but she's handling it really, really well.
That's other than Justin.
What about their off-ball movement and cutting kind of gave you guys some issues, particularly in the second half?
Well, I think you saw that they've played together for a long time, right? And so the cutting that we are gonna get to and all of that is all timing based. And they're ahead of us in terms of where they're at offensively and defensively. They're at this stage when you have everybody back, their key players back. And same coaches, you can start working on tweaking things rather than building your foundation. So they're ahead of the game in terms of where we are. So I think, their timing was good, their cuts were good, and they knew it was happening, so they were able to hit them. And we'll get to that point too.
Michael on the left side and then DJ after.
This for Dearica or Azurá. Of course, it's tough to find positives in a loss, but you guys were able to be very productive today. What did you guys see out there today against the Lynx?
Yeah, I mean, I think this team is super talented, 1 through 12. Yeah, when we get there. And so it's gonna be anybody's game any night. We saw KP what she did the last game, and me and Z, and the kids capable of doing that. So I think it's just gonna be what works, what the other team's defensive scheme is, and what's working for us. So it was me and Z tonight. Next game, we're
Hey y'all, DJ from Infinity TV. I actually found some positives from tonight. I'm gonna direct this question. I'm going to direct this question to Azurá. We talked about your 3-point shooting. Can you talk about how this matchup was actually advantageous for you because you were on a hot streak?
Yeah, I mean, I think our guards just came out really aggressive attacking, and then they were sucking in every time, and they were just spraying the ball, and I was just being confident. So I think, like I said last game, obviously it's new, we're learning Coach Lynne's system, but I think that's to our advantage any night. Teams are gonna sag in when we have people attacking downhill, and then we can just kick it out and be confident from the 3. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Thank you.
Jackie on the side.
Azurá, this one's also for you. I'm gonna kind of piggyback on that. You were hot, so hot in the first quarter, 14 points. They kind of slowed you down. What happened in that they slowed you down? And then coach, for you, you said you want to be competitive. This felt very competitive. Watching it, did it feel competitive for you as well?
Yeah, I think they just ratcheted up their pressure, and we kind of all took a step back. So we got to find a way to just fight through that when teams pressure us and stop their physicality from that lens.
And yeah, it did feel competitive. I thought we were right there and then, you know, they went on like an 8-0 run and suddenly it went from, you know, I think we got it to 4 and then suddenly it was 12.
Right.
And that's very different. You know, I think we've gotta be mentally tougher to handle, you know, everybody's good in this league, the margin for error is so small. You cannot let what happened in the last possession affect the current one. And that's where we've gotta, you get better as a group and just that next play mentality, doesn't matter if I miss, if I get I get fouled, they don't call it, they call a foul on me, that isn't like it's next play. And that's where I think we're, you know, we've got some growth to do there, but I have no doubt we've got great leadership, great veterans. You're looking at 2 of them here. They'll get everybody on the same page and, you know, if we're 2 games in, I'm not stressed at like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling, but we do have to get tougher. If we don't get tougher, then it gets more concerning, but again, I trust these guys and I know that they want what I want, they wanna win. And so it'll happen.
Coach, during these first 2 games, you've had a total of 8 points off the bench. What can you do to get some more production from them? I noticed the first 2 games, you essentially played 7 players, especially this one.
We need to get healthy. You know, we don't have a lot of depth there. There's not a lot of, it's not like I'm choosing, you know, to not play Rakia in the second. You know, she was hurt. Like, I'd love to put Ray in. She's on crutches. Like, we get Julie Alman back soon. That'll help, but you know, and again, we're figuring things out in terms of rotations and all the stuff and we'll keep evaluating that, but I would really love to play more players.
Ari?
I have one on coach, can you talk about just regarding the eye test again, can you talk about just what did you see today as far as offensively and fact that as a race she was knocking down 3 things and can you talk about what did you see from her today?
Yeah, I thought, you know, Z has been playing really well from training camp till today. I think she's benefiting from the spacing, but she's really smart. And so she understands when to cut, where to cut, when to float down to hit those kick out threes. I think it's a really good system for her strengths. But beyond that, like she's playing her tail off defensively and rebounding. I don't know how many rebounds she got, but felt like a lot. 6?
Only 6.
She got robbed. That's
A few out.
But she's just everywhere, flying out, you know, I think she's playing really, really well. But again, I think it comes down to the spacing and then her really understanding when and how to move and cut and shoot.
Charlotte?
Charlotte Moore, FI 360. Coach, you talked about execution earlier. How did you think about the execution coming out of bounds and out of the quarters? What did you think? I know it's right.
Next question. She's not happy about it, I'll answer.
We can improve, and we will.
Last 2 questions. Very thank you.
Excuse me. Coach, you affirmation that the team will get tougher.
Yeah.
And Dearica, the second part is for you. That's a championship caliber team that you played.
Yeah.
And in the third quarter, the toughness kind of separated. How do you coach toughness? And Dearica, your game is predicated and built upon toughness. How do you encourage and incite that or instill and incite that level of toughness in your teammates?
I'll go first. I think, you know, it's something that you can't just say like, let's be tough, and then it's like, okay, like, you know, you have to develop it. And it comes from, you know, I think Dearica is one of the toughest players in the league, without a doubt. And so it's highlighting those examples when it's shown, and then highlighting examples when it's not. And it has to be a constant drip of this is what it looks like. And today what I saw was just when things didn't go our way, like I mentioned, we kind of looked visibly frustrated. And not only is that not gonna help you as a player, the other team, believe me, they notice that too. And when you're playing a championship level team and they see some frustration, they see some cracks, they're gonna step on your throat. And that's, I thought, what happened. And it's a learning process. And so I'm not freaking out, I'm not panicking, but we gotta get tougher.
Last
Yeah.
question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think for me, I just gotta continue to keep leading by example, and when those moments happen, still be that example, because obviously it's natural to kind of, I guess, fade back a little bit, but just continue to.
Coach, as already mentioned, getting into the paint, getting them in a rotation, for your offense specifically, how important is it for you that the guards are getting 2 feet in the paint, drawing extra help, getting defenses into rotation where you are getting the kind of shots that you want to get? And how do you preach that to them to not get kind of overwhelmed by ball pressure defense? I can deny that.
Yeah, it's like you're in our practice, that's exactly what we want to do.
I'm telling everybody.
Yeah, no, that's a secret, you're in safe zone here, right? Yeah, that's what we need to do, and I think, you have to be confident as an offensive player to attack against pressure. Confidence comes from putting the work in, it's not a, what'd you have for lunch, or you can't just tell yourself, I'm gonna be confident now, you gotta put the work in. We have the ability to do it, we have the talent to do it, the skill talent, it's just the mindset. Like, if someone's up on you, you're not gonna take it, you're gonna take it at them, that's how you beat pressure. And we got a little bit on our back foot. But again, it's a learning game, and our job is to learn from what we can and get ready for, I don't know when we play next, Wednesday. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that is what we wanna do, attack, kick, spray it out, hit the roller, whatever, hit a nice pull up or take it all the way to the basket. So, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you, Val.